Hey guys, welcome back to Carl's Bait and Tackle. Today, we're gonna leave the boat back at the hotel and we're gonna be doing a little bit of pond hopping. These fish right now, you know, they're just getting off spawning. Most of them are probably post-spawn. We're gonna try and throw some topwater, some craws, do some flipping, and see if we can't figure out and teach you guys some tips about pond fishing. We just arrived at the first spot. What I'm actually gonna do before I even start like making casts or getting up to the bank is I'm just gonna make a quick pitch right to where I wanna walk on the bank. Because especially when you're shore fishing, you know, you never know, a fish could literally be sitting right where you'd wanna cast or right where you wanna stand on the bank. I'll just make a couple flips, you know, reel my craw kind of like a buzz bait a couple times and just make sure there's no fish right by the shoreline because that way I won't spook them when I drop down there. So then I'll walk down. One thing about ponds is there's not a lot of structure in most of them, so any little ditch, oh, what was that? Any little ditch will have movement. Any area with some current coming in is a good spot to try. And I would just, you know, fish fast. Oh! Boys and girls, we just missed the first bass on the first spot. That was swimming the Kraken craw. You know, a lot of times in a pond, these fish are really aggressive. They don't have a lot of pressure. So you could literally just swim a craw and they'll just absolutely devour it. So two baits I'm gonna focus on, obviously the craw today, as well as the topwater frog. I'm just gonna move this, kind of work it kind of slow along the shorelines. As you can see, there's fish busting along the shorelines. I don't know if they're bass or if they're small bait fish. This is one of the new Booyah frogs that you can get at Carl's Bait and Tackle. The cool part is if you reel it, it's got a kicker leg on the back. So you literally could cast this frog out, get it as close as you can to the shore, and then just reel it kind of like a buzz bait. So at the first spot, I took the Kraken craw and worked the shoreline. This time I'm gonna take this Booyah frog and do the same thing. I'm gonna make a cast from kind of far away, like, and just see if there's a fish down there. Oh baby, oh baby. We had one blow up on the frog. First fish of the morning. That fish was right on the shoreline. Not a giant, but he stroked the frog. Well, next time I'm gonna go grab him, but that was the first fish. That fish came from 5 inches off the shoreline and absolutely stroked the frog. We saw some fish kind of blowing up on bait and threw right to it. But the thing is, you know, just got to be careful because these fish, especially in the morning and when you're fishing small ponds, they literally sit on the bank and will just blow up on anything. So you don't want to spook those fish. Make sure to make some casts with this frog, which is completely weedless unless a fish does take you into the weeds, which just happened there. But that's the bait we caught the first fish on. Nice little Booyah frog. And we're gonna keep making some more casts. Oh my God! Oh my God! How did he not eat it? He didn't have it. That fish was, oh! That fish was big. That fish was big. Juicy. Fish, big fish, came right off the shoreline again. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Come here, baby, come here. Come here, baby. Gotta land this one. Oh yes! Look at that fish right there, and look at the frog in the top of his mouth. Another fish that's sitting super shallow water, and you can tell how dark he is. He's just sunbathing and just wanted that little frog to come by his home, and that fish just absolutely stroked it. My first official landed bass, my second really good blow up. Throwing that frog right along the shoreline was key for this fish to bite it. 65-pound test braid, fast gear ratio reel, 65-pound test braid. Like I said that twice there. You like that? Make sure to use 65-pound test braid. We're gonna let this fish go, let her go back to her home. Yes, a plan comes together. The first fish landed, and thank you, Mr. Froggy. So what I've seen is some bait fish kind of getting pushed up against that shore, as well as a lot of activity. And I'm trying to literally make casts that are on the bank and then just bringing them right over there. And then working the frog, kind of popping it, and then slowly reeling it in at the end. I'm using a super heavy rod, 7.6 heavy, just to get these fish out of that cover. 65-pound test braid. Fast gear ratio reel is key when you're frog fishing, so when you do set the hook, you can catch up and really get those fish in the boat or on the shore. But just super shallow casts. Just popping that frog. Oh my gosh, right off that bank again. Same exact bank, fish shot off. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I've lost this fish. Yeah, another nice fish. Oh my God. Right in the corner of the mouth. You could tell these fish want it when a fish is eating it like that. You could tell these fish are kind of in the spawning phases because they're getting all beat up tails, red on their fins. And that fish, again, was in super shallow water. Just came out of the water and exploded on it. Well, hopefully you guys really enjoyed some pond tips, fishing the topwater frog. This technique, or using a topwater frog, really excels pre-spawn all the way into post-spawn into the summer months. You know, a frog is, anytime that water temp is above 60 degrees is really when a frog can shine. If you got a lot of heavy vegetation, if you got a lot of grass, you can use this through there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's Carl's Bait and Tackle tip. And I guess hopefully I'll be back, unless I get booted from this channel. It's kind of up in the air every time I'm on the channel. They don't know if they want me back. So leave a comment below, and thank you guys so much for watching. Carl's Bait and Tackle.